Let's go! And we're back for another one. Underground World News Live. Barb, quick with the 5x5. Falky here too, Grab. Much love, everybody out there. Good evening. Older Bones, thank you. Wayne, everybody else checking in. I appreciate it to the fullest. Thank you to everybody out there that shares the stream. As always, that's appreciated to the fullest. Okay, anything to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. What's up, MC Dirty? You can tag me in the chat like MC Dirty just did to get my attention. And I thank you in advance to anyone that supports the channel. Super chats, coffees, PayPals, all that good stuff. And anyone that sends prayers. Projects of NYC checking in. Got people checking in from all over, man. It's good. It's good to see people checking in from all over. Steely, thank you for that right out the gate. Happy Friday. Much love. We got a lot to dive into anymore. There's so much stuff going on. I mean, you guys kind of get a beat on what's going on throughout the day, maybe hear of a headline or two, but I take all those headlines throughout the past 2 days, make sure we cover all the major topics here. within 2 to 3 hours. It's usually what it's been taking here recently. And yeah, much love. Hope all is well. Fall can have many bioweapons in it. Although the fog out here isn't being dispersed by anything. The fog be outside of the trees. Like where I'm at, like there's a lake of fog out here. I'm above it. It's crazy looking. And it happens quite often around this time of year, whenever the right setting, right? But you can see it rising up out of the trees, and all gathering. It's pretty cool. Cool part about the Appalachian Mountains. And much love right back, all you guys. Sharon in the house, Ispy, Jason, Hoodie Ross, Silver Sailor, checking in from Japan. Yeah, we've got MTG resigning. We've got that was breaking here. And we'll dive into that, and of course, a ton of other events and things. So I'm often referring to, when it comes to space, this illustration that they give us on how everything works. Now, I personally do not buy that, just because I've got valid reasons, but I'm going to play this clip and I'm going to show you how they show us traveling through space. And I've said this before, but I want you to see this, because if this is the case, then you wouldn't have the zodiacs. You wouldn't have the North Star. You wouldn't have everything spinning around one central point all the time. There's no way. If we're moving through the cosmos, through space, chasing our sun, that means that we're spiraling around it, like I'm about to show you, which means that never ever can the constellations ever be the same ever. If we're zipping through the vastness of space toward new constellations you've never seen or ever heard of. So I'm going to play it, and thank you, Steve. Weird handles are back. Here we go. First illustration. You can see how it's going to put everything into motion. Where we're at, spinning around the sun. Without the sun. In regards to the galaxy, it's moving at 230 kilometers a second. Spinning. All of the planets are supposed to be chasing and spinning behind it. So what this makes is this right here. This is what they're saying we're doing. Going through the vastness of space, heading toward, they've never said that. Don't you find that interesting? It's like they don't tell you, like, where's it going then? And if it's going, again, if we see the star, see all the stars that's zipping by right there? One of them is the North Star. Several of them are the Pleiades. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you're just cooking it through space, chasing the star, how is that possible? How can anything ever be back in the same place ever again? There's like no way. It's not possible. It's not possible. Okay? So, again, they're telling you we're moving through space and the Earth's spinning in all this great speed. We're chasing the sun. All this. And I just showed you all the stars that it zipped by. That would mean that everything changes over time. And here on this rock, this realm in which we're in, it never changes. Do you hear me? It never changes. 12 zodiacs all stay the same all the time. And oddly enough, the whole planet spins around one central point, the North Star. But not if you're passing that thing up in the sky, flying at 93 million miles an hour, or whatever they're saying there. Um, I always I look for logic in a lot of this stuff. Um, and I just right there. I mean, these are the same people that try to tell us they went to the moon, and we've caught them faking it and lying about everything else. Never a straight answer. NASA. This brings me to their latest bit, their latest cover up. Yeah, the pole star Polaris. Um, who blew up? Who blew them up though? Some legends did. Some legends did. You'll never know who, but some legends did. Um, so NASA does this live stream, and it is just kind of shocking what they did. Now, I'm kicking out images left and right of this object that's coming in 3i Atlas that we're still moving toward, believe it or not, till December 19th. That'll be our close approach. So, yeah, we are moving toward it in that aspect, but it's going to come nowhere near us unless the thing stops dead in its tracks and like heads this way. It has no reason to. If this thing seems to be doing a whole lot more than just being concerned about us. But they start off this stream by like adamantly saying that this is a comet. It looks like a comet. It acts like a comet. So right there, they lied twice. This is anything but a comet. It doesn't look like a comet. Has no tail like a comet. All these other characteristics, 12 anomalies so far that are not like a comet. But they seemed butthurt. Sure did. They seemed pretty butthurt and disgruntled. And you knew that they were there to spit some scripted crap. And this guy does what he does. He passes it off to Nikki Fox. And Nikki Fox passes it off to this other dude. And they all kind of regurgitate the same kind of idea that it's a phenomenal thing. And then they start like messing up. They start saying like, we don't even know what questions to start to ask. And it's just like, you're acting stupid now. What do you mean you don't know what questions to ask? Like, we got plenty of questions here lined up. So when they got to the questions, they started taking questions. The lady goes on and said, well, this has been spectacular. And, we got to watch it the whole time that it came through. And that's like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? So they were watching this live the entire time while they were saying the government was shut down. And that was the reason they couldn't post them to their website. So they were going into work, clocking in, pulling out telescopes, computers. Everybody's doing their normal jobs, getting paid. Not a mention of none of them having a hissy fit. Well, all of them went in, work is normal. And they observed this thing the entire time. And then they had the nerve to kick out this fuzzball. And somebody clowned it like immediately with like the perfect meme. It looked like somebody went out in the fog because somebody took a picture out in the fog of a street light. And that's what it looked like. When we're getting some high detail stuff from backyard astronomers, everyday guys out there. And I'm about to show you some of the latest, today's best. Let's go ahead and pull it up right here. Well, they gave a fuzzball that was crappier than the one I was just showing you there on the screen. This is the stuff other guys are catching. And they're saying, you've even got a congressman out of Tennessee right before this disclosure thing dropped today, which we're going to talk about. He said, that's no comet. That's no meteorite. something's happening right now. And I'm not even so sure that the sheep are seeing it. So what they're going to do, I know this because they just said this. The director of the Disclosure Project on an interview just said they're taking this and they're going to get it to where the president comes out and tells everyone. Get ready. It's about to happen. They're priming the audience right now just to see who's paying attention, what level, and it's about to go down. This disclosure has been dropped all year. The year's come and gone. And like all year they've been dropping breadcrumbs about this big event. What happened today? 34 individuals stepping forward and saying all types of stuff, mind-blowing stuff, every bit of it. So in the end, what they're saying is that this knowledge now that's been kept from sitting presidents, even Marco Rubio's in the video saying that, look, all this stuff has been kept, like sitting presidents. People just have this conception that it's a misconception that presidents just have all this knowledge as soon as they get in there, and they don't because they're kept in the dark, is how he put it. And he's like, these black projects are real. All this stuff's real. And they go on and on and on, dropping the seeds. But they dropped just like the video clip they gave us before where they shot one of these things with a Hellfire missile and it blew into pieces. That was a litmus test to see if the crowd was even paying attention. I'm going to tell you, they're not. This is the scariest part because of these fools running around out here around us. Look, the slaughter's going to happen to them. We fought this entire time to save everyone. And for people that just want to run around out here doing their own thing, ignoring it, it's about to catch up to them. And see, because they didn't pay attention, because they weren't listening and trying to find the truth, they're going to get blindsided by this lie. A massive lie. That the actor of actors, the Gentile Messiah, is about to drop on America and the world. And he gave it up. He said it. No, it's not in the video. He said it in an interview today, promoting it. And I got some clips here. We're at another level. We're at another level. I told you before, Tucker Carlson came on, spoon-fed within the past year. His whole millions of people told them they're here, they're under the earth, they're under the ocean. Okay? My audience, all you listening, I want to make this clear. They are signaling, they are telling everybody they're here. Sit back, let that sink in for a second. And this is all unraveling while this thing's in the sky. Okay, so let me play this clip.
Been created. I've been able to, guide the members within the boundaries of what they're actually cleared for.
This is Brett Baer. This is Fox News. This is RT. These are the biggest outlets out there. They are blasting this to everybody, y'all. They're blasting this to everybody. This is Brett Baer. Right now, everybody in the evening news are going to be seeing this. Gorsh going on here and saying what he's going to say right here. Okay.
I've been able to, guide the members within the boundaries of what they're actually cleared for.
When people look at this, they look online, they say there's a lot out there. There's a lot of people talking about encounters. There's a lot of people talking about videos, and we've seen a lot of that. Can we just cut it down to, you believe that we have encountered alien beings and that they've come to Earth and that we know about it as a U.S. government?
That seems to be the case. I don't like to characterize necessarily where they came from. They're definitely some kind of non-human sentience, but it is true, believe it or not, we've recovered the vehicles and we actually have physical proof, and I was actually partially cleared into some of those activities. It was beyond oral testimony provided to me, I actually had partial access to the data and actually read the intelligence reports resulting from those programs.
Like,
and
with your own eyes,
correct.
You saw it.
Yes.
And so when people...
You see? Do you see what's happening tonight across the world? Ken, thank you. Do you see what's happening? It's happening. Right now. I'm telling you right now. Right now, you've been waiting your whole life. Right now, disclosure begins. It's happening. In slow motion. They're breadcrumbing it. And they've given us this year the most mind-blowing data that they're here. They're living under our planet. They're living in the ocean. They have multiple different vehicles, multiple different technologies. They've shut down our missile systems. They've not only shut down our nukes, they've kicked them on. They are the ones doing this. Okay? Wow, it's raining hard behind me now. Demons do run this world, Eric, and I don't know if you're just showing up late to the party, buddy, but I think I know that. I only say it every show, and I go deep on it. The demons are here. You want to talk about demons? They're here. The fallen. It's easy to call them demons or aliens, but what are they? These beings are here. It's in your Bible. They never kept it a secret. They came down here and they were supposed to watch over us, okay? But they didn't watch over us. They got jealous. They got jealous because God gave us power over them. So they started doing sexual things with our women, okay? For those of you that just skipped over your Bible, you're skipping over knowledge and information. I'm not talking even look at this in a religious text, just as an information bit. You're missing something. There's things that are coded in there. The whole Bible was written in parable and allegory. Well, for the most part, Jesus spoke in nothing but. So it's code. So everything that you're reading on the surface, it's just a little story. It's code. Okay? I am not going to give anything away right this second. I'm going to be showing you here in the future what's up. It's about all I can say without giving anything away. Look, this is like, I don't know a timetable. Of course, this year flew by, like I said. But look, man, you just heard what they're telling the masses right now. Okay? So if people want to sleep on this thing, if people want to sleep on this is bad news, man. This is time to wake up, to snap out of it. This is time. This is it. This is crunch time. It's game time. This is it. This is it. They're doing it. These things are here. So now when you go out and you go venturing out places, there's a different tone to things. You know, I used to travel across the country, go like Area 51. Me and Spiro went there. Cannons. You go there under the thinking that, okay, yeah, there's a camera up at the top of the peak at Tikaboo Peak, and that, yeah, the humans are watching, okay? But we've heard of the stories of the dumbs and all the real stuff that goes down, and not only Area 51, but all the other S1, all the other bases that are out there. There's alien life, so to speak, the fallen, working with our government. And certain levels underground are dedicated to these guys. It's their territory. Right? Go back, look at Phil Snyder, man. R.I.P., warrior, legend. Dude tangoed with these things, man. Shot, blast, got his fingers blasted off, hit him, almost killed him, killed the guy he was with. And then they eventually killed him. Okay, guys like Phil Snyder that come out, man, legends. Now it all starts to make sense. People are like, "Oh, he's just blah blah blah." Yeah, oh, but whatever. Like it's whatever. It sounds crazy, yeah. But like, and that's what most people would do, blow things off because they sound crazy, right? Well, now, anywhere you go, any object that you see in the sky, your government is telling you these things are here. They haven't come out and officially told you what, but they just keep doing what they just did. They're here. We've got the craft. They're humanoid type beings, is what he's saying. But I'm going to tell you there's multiple races. There's all kinds of different, just like we are all colors, right? We're all different shapes, sizes, and colors. So, look at all the different life here. Come on. I think the best way to look at it is something like Star Trek, Star Wars, for real. With different molds, different life, different beings out there that exist. And look, I know for sure the Fallen's here, right? And I know that we ourselves, we were made at the flood. That's right. We are a new production. 2.0, something. The latest version. Because the humans before us were way bigger. I'm not just saying that's a fact. They lived way longer. Also a fact. Not only did they live longer, they lived hundreds of years. So that means their anatomy was different. That means if you dig one of these bad boys up, you change the game. And this is what they don't want you doing. But you should always be seeking the truth, no matter what. Of course, the devil is going to have his minions all over the place, and you can't go here, can't go there. Go turn all the historical spots across the globe into a war zone. Even the closest to us, Mexico. It's a treasure land of ancient stuff. Can't dare go there. Get your head cut off, blown off. Right? Last true place to look is right here. Our own backyard. They won't let you fly a drone at any national park, and it's for a reason. It's because that's where the goods are at. It makes it kind of easy for you. Right technology. Man on a mission can find some things. But what's up, Rips? Just sliding in. I was just talking about Area 51, our trip, and this whole thing. I played a clip on Gorsh. They've done it. Brett Baer, Fox News. They just came out and they told everybody they're here. He just did it. He just said they're here. Brett Baer cut to the chase. He goes, "Are aliens here?" Yeah, these sentient beings, humanoid type beings. That was the message given to millions of people across America tonight and around the world. You don't get that every day. They're here. They've always been here. I've told you this. I was just explaining it to you. It was never hidden. They've hidden. Out of sight, out of mind. It's made this whole thing work. Man, there's no way I can go about talking about none of this without going deep. Because that's where it goes. You want the truth? You want the goods? It was written. They try to hide it. And it's true. When you find all these ancient scrolls, so to speak, and pop them open and learn the real history, the stories that they tell, well, they give it away. They tell the truth. Now, those guys from ancient time, thousands of years ago, carving stuff into a wall, I don't think they were doing that in mind that I gotta lie to Dabu 7 and everybody else in 2025 in the future, So I'm gonna put lies all over the place in these walls. Mm-mm. 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 There's a reason the authorities don't want you going to any ancient place. I'm gonna tell you this though. Some of you have ancient stuff in your own backyard, literally. You might be surprised to go looking. You got to remember, ancient stuff is buried very deep. I'm talking could be 20, 30 deep, 20, 30 feet deep or deeper underground. A lot of sites have been unearthed same way. But look, Three-Eye Atlas. I don't think you shouldn't, to look at it like, oh, is it a mothership with aliens? Again, that's kind of stupid because like they're here, like the baddies are in here. They're here with us. Is this potential good guys? That's something none of them want to say, talk about. None of them want to even say, oh, it's the return of. All eyes are seeing it. All I'm saying is it relates in terms of it being blue, especially to the Kachino in the signs in the heavens and what we're seeing right now. This thing isn't normal. And also, let's look at the amazing thing about this. It's coming through our solar system, literally dropping the building blocks of life as it goes. That is pretty amazing. And knowing that it's doing it, going right into the atmosphere of Mars, which it already seeded it, facts. And it's going to do the same at Jupiter on the way out. Unless it changes course. But what reason does it have to change course if that was the course it needed? It was on a perfect course. The odds of it being on such a perfect course coming through here again is astronomical. I mean, the fact that this is all happening at the same time is not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I'm here to tell you right now. From right now, we are in. That's why they named it the Age of Disclosure. I'm telling you now. Because we are in it. They did it officially. Production or not, got to go pay $20 on Amazon to see it or whatever, which is garbage. You just wait. I mean, they're giving you some raw stuff in there. I mean, they're telling you everything about the entities, what they look like, the craft, all this stuff. And there's different kinds that they've downed the craft, not just Roswell, okay, but like all kinds of craft. And they explain it in detail. This means something. And again, the interview that I seen today was of the director of that movie. And he came out and he basically said, we're taking this to the president, and the president is going to come out and give a message. That's the steps. That's what needs to happen. Dude, this is it. You think it's going to disappear and go away from here? Hell no. Like, this is planned. This is it. They've seeded this all freaking year. The only guy that I did not see today anywhere, he did not pop up in any feed, is Greer. I did not see his face. I did not see him anywhere. But give him some time. He doesn't really need to. He played his part at this point. He brought it, laid it all out there, got the whole ball rolling. Gorish in the evening news to the masses is now streaming. We are not alone. This is crazy, man. It's like pop a bottle. We've waited for this time forever. It's like, I don't know what else you're waiting on. It's coming at this pace. Tonight, they officially are telling the masses, we've discovered life. Humanoids, intelligent life, man. This isn't bacteria on Mars. They are amongst us. Maybe now that some of these dumbed down masses are getting spoon-fed and they're starting to raise an eyebrow, maybe now they'll listen. They got a lot of catching up to do before they're deceived. If they don't figure it out that there's a huge deception called that we've all been waiting for, blue beam, whatever, huge deception with the fallen, then they're going to fall for it. We fought this whole time to stop that from happening. This very moment. Yusuf said his head's just a rock. Oh. No brain in there, huh? Much love, Austin. Much love to you out there that were born for this moment and know it. Um, I don't even know at this point, man. Like, they're here. And like, you come out and tell the world the aliens are here. And they're so stupid. They just sit there and look the other way. I'm convinced they're all getting led to the slaughter. And I'm going to tell you, like I've always told you, you better look out for yourself and you better get far. You better remove yourself, separate yourself from them. Or get caught in their madness. I'm sick of warning. It's over. They're here. I've told you they're here the whole time, so it's no surprise. Probably none of you. But like the rest of the world, it's a huge moment. And again, they're sleeping on it. Not surprising. But I wish this thing did hook a 90 degree and come straight toward us. Leave everybody crapping their panties. I'm ready for some action. Everybody in a trance. Do I own XRP? No, I don't know. Nothing, none of that. Nothing. The baddies are here. All right, so hold on. Okay? Let's stop for a second. They're here. Okay? They're here. That's what he told us. That's what they're saying. They are here. Okay? That means whatever's up in the sky, like, it can be whatever. Like, in anything else. Like, okay, what if that's more of them? Okay, whatever. Like, why did they take all this time, put on a big show going around? Makes no sense. If they're coming here, these cats are already here. I mean, they just told us this. There's no more, like, from here on out, there's no more guessing. Like, there's no more speculation. You can't call this conspiracy. This changes everything. It's a paradigm shift, man. Again, people are so docile. I don't even think I don't even think they can absorb it. Like, this is major, y'all. Like, super major. Like, super major. That they're coming out saying this stuff. Like, so much so that I really can't get over it at this moment because it has so many different implications. I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about. Oh boy. Definitely digging up some of the older stuff, man, from the Dumbs, and gonna run it next time in the next shows, just so people can see that, like, look, guys were trying to tell you a long time ago. The shapeshifters, look, the reptilians, all that 100% real. Why wouldn't there be? Look at all the crazy wild creatures out there. Why wouldn't there be a reptilian form of a humanoid? Why wouldn't there? If you could think of it, anything's possible. Why wouldn't there be? Okay? And it would seem it would be able to live in harsher conditions, and it would be potentially super intelligent, as the serpent is. As the serpent is wise. Dude, I want to go looking. I got this. The whole look. I'm not afraid. At this point, it's the same thing. What are you gonna do? Kill me? I'm not afraid, dude. Like, you can't kill this soul. The energy is eternal forever, and it's God's. Okay, so I'm in His hands. Okay, so, like, let's get this on with, baby. If there's something to be seen, someone needs to step up and be legendary and just go find it and show it. Let it be seen. Live stream the shit. Like do it. Like, I'm ready, man. Like, let's find them. They're sitting on the ocean floor. He actually gave away a few places. They've actually said it in these interviews. They gave away the locations of where they're at. They said it. You know, if I had the money That's it. If I had the ammunition, it would be gone. On a boat out there, the same as last time when the drones were out here and no one wanted to take their boats out in the ocean. Like, if I had the money, I'd be on it, like right then. These places need explored with technology, underwater drones, like the whole nine. They need staked out. They need watched. Seeming that they called them out. These regions. Hell, I don't know. Somebody take a sub down with the camera. And let's see what's really there. Because how many people are really doing that? Like nobody. Everybody's a slave on this planet. Even if they're not, they're just sitting around. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Like, we should be all like Indiana Jones and like digging this place up, like, and like figuring out the truth. That's the only way you're gonna find it. They're gonna just stay lying to us the entire time until you're dead and gone. How are you any different than the generation before you? People don't rise up and make a difference, man. Nothing's gonna change. But I don't know. From this day on, this is unless November 21st, 2025, in my mind and in the books, for the books, this is the day. It's undeniable. They told the whole world they're here. You just did it. I played it for you again. So, look, they're gonna go on. You can go watch that video. There's actually, I got a link on it here, right here. How to watch The Age of Disclosure online. It gives some links. Amazon Prime. It's like $20 or something, and you can watch it. And you can use discernment, obviously, but you can see what they're saying. I mean, you just seen it. It doesn't get any deeper than what he just said, Brett Baer to Gorsh, right there, to everyone. They're here. They're here. So they want to act like the president is kept in the dark about this. Rubio says it multiple times in the film. And I find it odd that the director said that what needs to happen now is it's taken to the president and he gives the message to the people. And it's like, That's when you can say it's the big one. But we already knew by then. We already knew. Like, what are you waiting on? Like, we already got the information, man. Like, some people are going to miss it tonight, though. And they know this. They know some people are not watching Fox News and some people are just off doing whatever. But I'm telling you, if Trump comes on for a special statement, the whole world going to listen. More people are going to watch than the Super Bowl. That's the moment. In the words he says on what they are is everything. Dude, this is different. This is it. It's over. It's over. Like, get ready. Get ready for this. Like, you know in advance now. Like, they let the cat out of the bag. Like, this is coming with Trump. It's going to be forever changing everything. History. And there's going to be a step further from this. There will be more information dropped and put out there. Video. I mean, for crying out loud, they've already shown us them blasting one of these orbs with a Hellfire missile. I think the biggest thing and what's going to put it away is when they show the world on video the very first alive being. That's going to make people, that is going to make them shocked to the core. And when you scare, this is the same thing with MK Ultra. This is a thing where you have a chance to seed information and sigils into a tranced, shocked, scared, stifled, trying to consume this whole thing audience, the masses, when Trump says this. That we're about to witness This is crazy. Just like nothing else. Just like I'm gonna go on with the news here, but like nothing else trumps this. This is the story. This is the event. This is it. Like I said, we should be out tomorrow with teams or plotting tonight to go to these places where we know they're at and find them. And I'm gonna tell you the best option to be able to get to find them, I think, is going to be the ocean. It's going to be in these underwater bases, because everything that's going to be above ground is going to be a military base for the entrance, for the most part. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be occupied military space on the ground with troops like sitting there. Like, I don't see that. I don't see boats, military boats, just sitting somewhere out in the water. But if we do find that, it's going to be interesting, don't you think? And what are they going to do till you turn around? Well, then we okay. We'll turn around. Well, then we know there's a barrier, and we should creep up and launch underwater drones, because we know that's where the goods are at. What? Or not? Or just sit there in the dark and do nothing and be stupid little humans and do nothing. They're telling us advanced lives here, like we should be out like, oh yeah, you said it's at the bottom of the ocean and everything else, and they're giving us locations. Like, that's going to be your best chance, taking boats out into those places with technology and getting right above it. Even though it's going to scare the crap out of some people, and rightfully so. You wonder about Bermuda Triangle and all this other crap. Game over. Now that you add this piece of the puzzle in there, game over. Over. Even Christopher Columbus wrote in his diaries, man, that there were lights coming up out of the ocean when he came here. Come on. Now it all falls into place. Now it all falls into place. And remember, when it comes to Lucifer, Satan, and his minions, and thank you, Ori, Juice. Thank you. Just remember, they're made different. Remember, I was telling you the other night. Look, I've been trying to tell you this for a reason. It's coming out of me for a reason. It's been coming out of me for a reason. I can't even get through a stream without it coming out of me every time. Something through me is trying to tell you over and over again. And then you know it. Here we are. They're here. Like they're literally listening right now. I know you are. I feel you. You're not the only one with abilities. You wanna know something? God gave me power over all of you. It's written. He gave me power over every one of you. And you hate it. This is the truth. And you know it. I take you back to Genesis B. Lucifer, when God made man, he sat him out to dry. He made him of clay, and Lucifer kicked him and refused and told God he would not worship him because he was a greater being. He was better than that, more intelligent, and that God made him from fire, not clay. So these beings are here, and they're made of a different element. This is known. This is what you're dealing with. I advise you quit ignoring this. Don't put it on the back burner. They're out there everywhere now. Your government's not told you it's a game changer. Grocery store, gas station, anywhere. Definitely at these prime events, they're definitely mixed in with the upper echelon of all of our politicians and all them. Half the ones that you see are them. They live. Rowdy Piper. Best get the eyes to see real quick. You can tell them by their fruits. I wouldn't doubt it, Gorsh is one of them. Wouldn't doubt it. It's a chosen time. They are amongst us. This is why he comes back and separates the wheat from the tare. You wonder why that's written. It's for a reason, because they're mixed in amongst us the same way. Again, it's a parable, an allegory. But when you break it down for the real, is what it means. So if the Kairos is coming back, you're going to separate them out and burn them. It's written. That's your fate. I will say, though, that if there's good out there, even if it's on another life form, that let God have mercy on it. If you fight the good fight, may you be blessed. You have to fight the good fight. There's no cheating. The game, when it comes to the Most High here, it's just like Star Wars, man. For real, man. You're gonna have all kinds of dudes, man, that are like, that do. There's good out there and everything to some degree. There has to be, because you look at the yin yang. There has to be to some small, minute degree. Man, this is wild. Like the jinn, these things, the spirit, it's all connected. The way they're vamping people, the energy, man, this is just crazy. I feel everything's about to switch up with the way I'm covering some things, because I done told you the Saturday streams, man, they're coming quicker at this point. Look, man, I've done dedicated this whole first hour to this, but rightfully so. I gave it its time. It deserves it. Man, guys, like some of us like need to be having some talks about this, like hardcore. Yeah, I mean, Elon probably is one. I mean, he goes on Joe Rogan and says, Joe, if there are aliens out there, I'd come on here and I'd be the first to tell you. I'd be the first to tell you. But then you've got Gorsh and them coming out tonight. You tell me Elon's not privy to all this? Garbage. So Elon, now take the knowledge that you got tonight. Take the knowledge that you have tonight, that Gorsh just gave us, and go back and you watch that recent broadcast of Elon on Joe Rogan with him saying that. You know full well he's lying. And look how easily he lies to you. Dealing with the best liars and actors on the planet. That's why he's the world's richest man. He's pushing the agenda. Everyone's like he's one of them. Of course. I mean, I'm telling you, they're all evil as it gets. Like, you can see it. It's like, this is nuts. Like, man, this is a game changer, man. This is a game changer. Like, they're watching this too. They're sitting back watching this tonight. They're watching. They're seeing who's receptive. I'm telling you, we are among the most receptive. So we are on the radar. Do you understand? There's no way we can't be. My consciousness is vast to this degree. I can feel them also watching. Probably dozens are in the stream. Probably every stream. I've known this. I know there's been agents dedicated to just listening to me. That's why I've cussed you out several times, because you bitched out and you fought for the wrong side. You fought for the dark side. You were scared. You didn't have any kahunas, like they all don't. They all bitch out, bow down. And that's the dark side for you. But the cowards that bitch out, bow down. Just by definition, by default. That's why you got there. Because you didn't have the kahunas to ride against the beast. That's right. Like we do. So you can hate, you can envy, or you can jump on the good side at any time here. We need some good guys from, like I said, from all sectors. Even if you're one of them, you could change the game up. And yeah, I ask the Most High to forgive you. Man in the flesh is going to ask the Most High to forgive you if you come over and you fight the good fight. Right? Right. Testament of Solomon. Solomon had a ring. He was given power over the jinn. Okay? Maybe now you'll start to pay attention to all this. He can only do things of good with it. You know that wall? They're all going over and they're kissing and licking and hugging over the Wailing Wall. You know who built it? The jinn. It's written. Not man. The jinn. Solomon used his ring and commanded them and wasn't allowed to use them for bad things. Wasn't allowed to go to war. Use them against his enemies. There's rules to the game. Maybe now you start to pay attention. He could put them to work. As long as it was for good. And so can you. Jesus said you can go on to do greater things than he. In his name. You operate in his name. In the Holy Spirit's name. It's given to you, but no one, I don't like to say no one, but very little use it. I mean, why do you think there's power in the name and it runs evil spirits out? And they use it in exorcism and everything else. It works. It's proven. So there's power in all this. You speak things into existence. It's manifestation. Okay? It was given in your Bible, coded. Again, it said God spoke everything into existence. God said. They just showed you, like a teacher showing a child, that the creation of everything is spoken into existence. You better take these keys. Thank you, Steve, for dropping the memberships. Whoever just got them, welcome to the underground. TNF, much love, man. Just making sure I was caught up with the chat, man. This is just an off stream because of all this. I can't not say these things and just spit the raw and the real. This is the most important message that I can put out there. Like I said, forget everything else. There's not a single story outside of what I'm saying right now that tops what I can say right now. There's nothing more important. When you wake up tomorrow and you head to work, it should be on your mind that the government last night just came out and told everybody the aliens are here. Yeah, did you see that? Did you see Fox News last night, Brett Baer? I'm a kid, man. They told us aliens are here, man. Make a joke out of it if you want to. Get the boss to go in there and look it up. And then maybe, just maybe, some real conversation will start to get kicked up. People are forced to have this conversation. You may start to realize who's who around you, too. See who starts acting funny. Look, we've known this the whole time. I want to say, like, I ain't liking this, but they've been here the whole time. The entire time. Long before any of us even came into this picture. They've been here the whole time. This is like a petri dish. They're watching. That's why I said I know they're listening right now. They're watching everything, observing, prodding, seeing who's listening. We are among the remnant. I promise you. I promise you that. Go out there, find another live stream tonight that talks like this. And I tell you this all the time. All the time. Go find me another one. Joe Rogan won't touch on the truth. All these shows won't touch on the truth. Obviously, the shows are gatekeepers. They won't teach you the way out. There's a way out. It's hidden. It's been hidden within everything. Jesus made sure he hid it in all of his parables. That's what I'm going to unlock and show you. I'm going to show you over and 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 over again. He said one thing. And it's the way out. And if you don't want to listen to that, then I don't know what to tell you. So much so the man hit it in every single parable. It means something. The way out. And if you don't want to know, then you can stay here. I'm not staying here. I mean, Lord God, forgive me of my sins. I'm doing everything I can to not be stuck here. When I drop this body, my energy's vibrating to a better place. That's what I'm putting this work in for. That's what I hope you're doing on a daily basis. I don't care if it's the smallest thing. Holding a door for an old lady. Or whatever it is. You better start getting right. Like something's watching. Okay, for all the people that didn't believe in God and all this other crap, now you've got aliens up on deck. So now they're sitting here watching you. Now what? Would you at least be concerned? You just gonna be a dumbass and not care and just go back and stick your head in the sand like, I'm done with you people that are like that. You can just push on. I'm done with you. Be gone. I'm not casting my pearls amongst swine from here anyway. Look. Something's happened. Something's changed now. Something's changed. I feel like this moment in time, at this very moment, officially, like I could state, like I've become a reptile hunter. Riptoid hunter, whatever you want to call it. I'm hunting the other species that's here. Like a Ghostbuster. That's how I feel. You gonna sit back and act like it's not there? I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. I'm not a bitch like that. I'm bitching out at my people. I turn a cheek the other way, because that's how I feel it is. I figure you're cowering out if you don't want to face this. And those that cower out, or just for whatever reason, they're going to be easily accepting of the government's whatever is going on here. I don't know how. Look, Gorish told you they're here. Tucker said they're here. I can't get over this. Like, I'm ready to go find them. Like, let's get it. Like, who else is down? Bunch of people be scared, I know, but like, who else is down? Who wants to be legendary? It's like, gotta be there's somewhere now. Like, let's go camp out. Let's I think of these places like Mount Shasta that have all the sightings, all this. Like, let's go pay a visit or something. Like there's key places now that you need to come to the forefront, to the front here of the stack that need visited. Because there's something obviously going on. I can almost guarantee you, like, something's pulling me right now. That's why I'm saying it. If you seek it, you will find. If you go, you are sure to find. I feel like I'm being called out. I'm not going to California, but I just might. Lord God, let me know what I got to do from here. It's your work. I do these things to gather his people, to try to gather you all, to drop his message, to deliver to you and to show you the way out. That's all it's ever been about. So, when I say that, it's like nothing else. There's nothing else above that. Everything else after this is going to be like, all right, I'm pushing on then. Gonna have to push one out of the subject, man. I can stay here going on for hours. I gotta cover these stories though. So we'll stay kind of one subject here. But keep it pushing. Okay. All right. Deep breath. Take a drink. And a thank you to everybody out there that sends me information. I appreciate it to the fullest. So, Look at this. Lumpy caterpillar wormholes may connect entangled black holes. This is interesting because they're admitting here how everything works in terms of the black hole, quantum entanglement, and how a lumpy black hole is like it's or this lumpy caterpillar wormhole is a black hole that like connects two spots. It's nuts, but it's everything they show you in the movies and the shows from one point to another. But they're basically saying that this is true. It's 100% real. And with everything else going on here, I'm just like, okay, you wonder how these things are traveling around. If you master jumping through wormholes, then you're talking about going like UFOs aren't just like a flying machine, right? They become a time machine. Literally. And it's oh, this technology is fascinating. My biggest fear here with it all is that we're going to miss it. They're lying to us. These pieces of junk that are in Congress right now, and you're president. They know what's going on. They're orchestrating all this. Obviously, they've had all this. They're sitting on all this technology. And as I said before, I feel like they're waiting. This is going to be part of like a utopia, the beast world. All this technology. I don't know, man. I think things are going to really ramp up and start moving quick. So look at this next one. Okay. I want to preface this by saying that if you go to the Britannica, and this is where some flat earthers are on this point, but hey, it's whatever. You got your people got their different thoughts and opinions. We shouldn't bicker about it. I just want to go with the facts and the hard data. As I always say with the flat earth, I always try to say this is flat. Someone to explain to me first and foremost, respectively, how does the equator work on a flat plane? Go ahead, I'll wait. I don't want to no mumbo send some videos and some garbage. No, I want a legit hypothesis, some scientific data. Not that all this crap is just, one way and you have no way of proving it. No nothing. You can't show no nothing. And I start there because if you can't simply prove that, then it doesn't hold any water weight with me. Because obviously in this magnetic place that we're at, there's poles. And obviously when you cross a certain line on this realm that we're at, the water swirls a different way when you flush the toilet. And until you can prove to me how that works on a flat surface, I'm waiting. Okay, I'm serious. I don't want to hear no mumbo jumbo bull crap. I've heard it all for years. But if you got something real, I'm down. Okay? Now listen. This brings me to the firmament. It's in your Bible. People interpret this different ways. When I think of firmament, and I think of scientifically what's holding us here, I know that Van Allen belts are radiation belts that hold all life in. They hold it all in. They got probes. They got Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 to bust through. They're the only two that have done it, that are all the way out there, still doing their thing. But they haven't sent no life. There's been no life go through the radiation belts, right? That's why I'm trying to say that, sending life anywhere on a rocket, it's not going to work that way. It's just not. Flying through it that way proves impossible for life. It kills all life. The way that we're seeing them get around it is stepping down dimensionally. They're stepping in and out dimensionally, just like a UFO does. And that's when you see all of our space cameras, because subspace is real. When you can get way out in the subspace, the Van Allen belts butterfly out, they go way out. Okay, so they got a lot of room in subspace to work with. You can get up above the planet. Yes, you can. And the IS, all the very real. All the satellites real. That's another thing. For these people that want to say that, there are no satellites too, this is where I start to think that you're damaged. You're damaged goods. That the psyops have taken a toll on you that bad. Seriously. You say that it's all, there's towers hitting everywhere, and okay, whatever. That's proven garbage. Especially when, in certain places of the planet, you're only going to get a signal through satellite. Like out in the middle of nowhere. Which it's been proven time and time again. I'm proving it right now. But you think it's all from some cable being ran underground, and to some fake tree that's a tower, and you can't prove none of it. It's garbage. I'm sick of that. That's the psyop of it all. It was meant to damage and keep people in that stage and that level. Some of us see it. It's I feel kind of bad, but I mean, you got to grow out of it when people are telling you the truth and showing you the truth of things. And I know it's hard when we're lied to about all this stuff, but all I'm saying is I try to go with scientific data, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. If you can show me something that makes sense, then we'll cover it. Okay? Is this place hollow in nature? Yeah, I believe it. Is the moon hollow in nature? Yeah, I believe it. Because of scientific evidence. Them hitting it, the whole world being able to listen and hear it hum like a bell. Okay? Plus the ancients, say this place is hollow, in nature. Things like that. I can go with all that. All right? There's substance there. There's material. There's history there. There's proof, evidence. Not just a guess and conjecture. All right? Not that everything's moving around us inside of a dome. Some people also say that, like, we're in one it's flat and it's a big dome, and the sun and the moon are spinning around inside that dome, and it's like the sun's a flashlight, and like just moving around and part of this. But that makes no sense. Like, where is Saturn and Jupiter and like everywhere else? Huh? You can't. What? They're fake too? See, I can see them with my own eyes. But some of you have never picked up a telescope in your life. You can see the rings around Saturn. You can see these heavenly bodies there. And let me tell you something. You can see them clearly. They're not. And look, I know you can look out there and you can see stars that twinkle and they look crazy. And I see it myself. They look like a light underwater. And that's why people say, oh, the firmament is separated and they separated the waters. And I can get that too, because it did say it separated the waters. But it's not like right outside of Earth, because you can clearly see from here all the way to freaking Jupiter and all these planets, no water. It doesn't look like water. It's not till you get beyond them, at least, these so-called stars that look that way. Because if you look at Saturn, Jupiter, and any of the inner planets, you can see them in fine detail. They look like they're the water. Okay? And that's well beyond our Van Allen belts, man. Okay? So here is where they admit there's a wall. That's the words that they use, and then they try to describe it in a little bit different way. But they say there is a 30 to 50,000 degree Kelvin wall at the edge of our solar system. Firewall. This is what Voyager found. Do you know what Voyager is? It's the probe of all probes. There's Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. That's out there further than anything. Like finding all this crazy stuff. And they sent Voyager 2 out behind it. That way it could pick up secondary data. That way they were picking up data on everything. It wasn't one off. They could actually get a second opinion, a second type of test on all this stuff that it passed by. So they had two sets of data the whole time. Well, what do you know? Do you think anything is getting through a 30 to 50,000 Kelvin wall? If there's ever been a time that there's been a wall, a real wall, like out at the edge of the solar system, of course, they're saying this. How do you go beyond that? How do you get beyond that? That's a wall. Okay? For all the people that are sleeping on it. That's nuts. So I just want you to know it's there's a massive firewall at the end of the solar system. And there's also a place, how the solar system is said to work here is you've got our solar wind. That's what pushes the tails out in comets. It comes from our sun. And it goes all the way out into the edge of our solar system. That's to the edge of also the sun's magnetic field, its magnetic pull. It's where it dies, okay? It dies and it hits an area that's called, is it the heliopause? Heliopause, where this is where interstellar wind is coming in from the opposite direction. And there's almost a void, a pocket that's right there. That is exactly where this wall's at. That is exactly where this wall's at. That's so now put things into perspective. Everything going on, being trapped in firmament. Okay, there's definitely a wall, and they've admitted it out there. Again, 30 to 50,000 Kelvin at the edge of the solar system. How you can do that? But that's just with rocket technology. If you could step down in and out of dimensions in wormhole, then none of that matters. God is great. And God is the master creator. Yes, but you here have the power to speak things into existence. You do know that, right? Jesus said you go on to do greater things than him. You need to start believing it. You are a co-creator with God in this. You need to start seeing your power and not wasting it. Wasting your oil of gladness, wasting your chrism. You could do some powerful things, man. I'm telling you. What? All right. I'm going to be selective here and chop down a few of these stories as I weed my way through them. I do want to say a cooking pan recall for significant contamination is in effect here. Shada Traders in Brooklyn issuing a recall for 24 cm milk pans made by a Pakistani-based Majestic chef after they revealed the product may be contaminated with significant levels of lead that can leach into the food. So that's not good. These milk pans were sold in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maryland, Virginia, and Massachusetts. So if it sounds familiar, looks familiar, you better return it. It's toxic. It's leaching into your food. This is why you don't want to use a microwave neither. Get away from it. Everything's about energy, and I shame on you if you're still eating out of a microwave. I don't care. There shouldn't even be one in your house. We're intelligent enough to know the damage it does now. And they call it nuking the food for a reason. Everything is about energy, and food is life. Let thy food be thy medicine. It's energy. And when you put it inside of a microwave and you nuke it, what it does to the particles inside and everything else destroys it. It depletes it of any of its nutritional value whatsoever. And it puts bad energy into your body. Come on now. People need to quit being lazy with it, man. And start making some decisions in this life. It's what the whole thing is about, is overcoming the things that are weighing you down here. It's what this whole thing is about, overcoming it all. Overcoming all these things they're tempting you with. The jinn are here to tempt you. The Nephilim died in the flood, and they were turned into the jinn. The jinn were put here to tempt you every day of your life. It was written. It's written in the book of Enoch, which they stripped from your Bible because they wanted to keep you dumbed down. But I'm telling you the truth. Okay, so keep it pushing here. Let's dive into the stock market. Man, when I get to another video clip, when I go I've already killed a drink. To go get a refill. What on earth happened to the stock market today? Oh, I got a fresh water here. Well, it dumped bad. Why did it dump bad? Because a bunch of rich fools decided they coordinated to sell. Okay, which should be illegal. Any other time, if they caught you doing it, it would be illegal. But they could do it, and it's perfectly fine. I've been warning you about these days. They've just been taking little chunk after little chunk here and there, and they do it when no one's paying attention. Now, the crypto realm just got wrecked hard. So did the S&P. But crypto just got wrecked worse than, some are saying, worse ever in terms of a one-day sell-off. And it's not done. If you know anything about the markets out here in the bubble that we're in, you know that this thing's going to come crashing down at some point. But the crypto market, man, just devastated a lot of people. Every time this happens, I see all the horror stories and people crying. And probably some guys out there ending things because it's crushed their life. It's happened. Every cycle it happens. And I've seen today guys at Raptor saying, look, I put in my life savings at 115,000, talking about the price of Bitcoin, thinking we were going to 175 and I could, do something for my family and, all this stuff. And then he goes today, I lost everything. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just thinking to myself, though, how did you lose everything, though? It didn't go to zero. So I questioned some of these stories. It did pull back a significant bit, like 30%. But like from the top here. But like if you were holding it, then that's what you should be behind. Is that percentage, not 100% in the whole, lost everything. So I wasn't understanding that about some people unless there was more to the story, which there usually is. And a lot of people out here are longing and shorting. And I'm more than willing to bet that he had, like a lot do, had their money tied up in a longing. And they got liquidated. And yeah, you lose it all when that happens. So when someone comes along and says that they lost it all, that means one thing. I hope you're hearing me. Hear what I'm saying. If you know people that got crypto, maybe you're in anything else, think about it. You can't, if you're just sitting in Bitcoin and it made this drop, you can't lose everything. Yes, you took a hit, but you didn't lose the farm. You didn't lose everything. The only way you can do that is if you put it all in a contract to go long. And trust me, from 115, he was at 125, from 125 from 115 in a long contract, depending if 10, 20, 30x. You could be looking really good gains. Problem is, most people don't know when to cash out. People new to the game think that this is going to last forever. And look, it happens to the best of them. It happened to me. My first time in the game out there, we watched it blow up like insane numbers. And back then, there were no stable coins to jump into. So there wasn't like it is now. It's easy for someone to just jump on a stable coin and you retain all your value. Wasn't like that back then. Back then, it was just you had to pick a coin and hope that everybody jumped in the same one and it stayed afloat. And that's how it worked. And I watched guys make millions. Yeah. And I watched guys lose money. And it showed me that this is an up and down game. No, like nothing is a forever thing. It's not always up. It's no. If you were wanting to really get into the game, well, sit back and watch this bear market unfold for a minute, and start to wager yourself in. Start to gradually buy in. It's called averaging in. This is a good time to do it. Of course, everyone's scared right now. It's dumping. It's dumping. Well, good. Well, like, unless you're in it, it's not good. But from an investment perspective, pullbacks and dips are what you buy. I tell you that with gold, with silver, with everything. When it pulls back, it's when you get in. Some things are going to have bigger dips than others. Okay? Now, I did notice a high level of FUD this round right now. They got it down to, Bitcoin's at like 82,000. I know some of you don't care, but this affects the markets, affects everything. It's so big now, you need to pay attention to what's happening with it. Because it is another indicator on where the whole global economy is and what's going on. And it is a hedge. Regardless, it's a spot where billions flow into and out of, as you can see. So the stock market, the same thing here. How do you have money like this disappear out of both markets? The big dog sold. The big dog sold. Eric Trump just came out and unloaded all of his Bitcoin. A guy that was just telling everybody here recently, Bitcoin's going to hit 175,000 before the end of the year. Man, they buffaloed everyone so bad. They ripped the people off. I've never seen an administration come in and boldly just rip the people off the way they did with the Trump coin and Melania coin. Just boldly came in and it was right at the same time that they were writing an executive order for no CBDC. Gave them that with one hand, the other hand gave them Trump coin. And not only one, they double dutched them. They hit them with Melania coin. Almost came with the Barron coin, but then held off. Hit them. All these people invested, they tanked it. You know how much money them Trump boys made off that? They made a ton. Then they put it in the Bitcoin and other projects and hyped it up more and let it run up this whole time up to 125, which is the exact zone we were eyeballing. Between 120 and 130 I looked down and it said 1,130. We're watching. That was crazy. Right when I said 130. That was our target at the top to set a short. I didn't get one in, but of course I got locked out of the account that I used to do it, but oh well, at least I've seen the window and I know. We've been pretty good at calling the windows here. These are for long holds. These aren't for day trading. Day trading, you can get chopped up, chewed up, and spit out. Anyone can. Long holds your best bet. You want to get into any of this stuff? You do it in these scary times when everyone's freaking out and it's dumping down. Let Bitcoin dump back down 10,000. Let them dog it and say, because this is what they were saying. Vitalik was out there, the creator of Ethereum. He was saying that quantum computing is going to destroy Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the blockchains. And they're not going to be anything just a couple years. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, they used that last time. And see, when you've been around the block a time or two and you've been around for a while, you see how these ups and these downs go. FUD is real. FUD is negative news, is what it is. And it's used to bring down a market. And right now it's being used all over the place in terms of the crypto. But all they're doing is just trying to get a flush out. They're just trying to get a correction. They're dumping out. They're all selling off. They're taking profit, and they're trying to get it to settle somewhere. If they can do that quickly, then it's quick. But usually, look, bear markets can last for years, guys. People just got used to this. I'm telling you, there's years in between bull markets. I'm telling you. I'm warning you. I've lived through them. So, and the people that are seeing this right now, they're like, oh, crap. People that woke up, especially in Asia, after the Americans dumped, they woke up, they were like, crap, they dumped. Anyone that's sitting there holding still, they're looking, they're watching. They're watching, they're looking. They're looking, they're watching. And one by one, cats are going to start to sell off. Big companies like MicroStrategy that bought it like 115 as well, like right around that range. They're underwater now. And getting delisted from certain sites from being a strategy organization because they're so far underwater. But dude, you just knew that this was going to happen. You knew, how could it not? We were at a top. All these big corporations trying to invest at the top, of course you're going to go underwater at it. But You never sell low. Oh, well, it's pulled back. Guess what? Hang in there. If you're in this for the long haul, hang in there. Cats that have held on, I will say this, cats that have held on like from 10 years ago, they've seen this thing go from like, $100 to like 10,000 and then back down to 1,000 and then up to 20,000 and then back down to 10,000, then up to 50,000 and then maybe back down to 15,000 and then up to like, and it makes these huge jumps and then falls and jumps and falls. Well, that's a cycle. That's a repetitive pattern. Get to know it. It's that simple. Buy the dip, sell the tip, man. And these things take time. Again, like you can average yourself in so you don't miss the bus sometimes, which is like if you got $1,000 you want to spend on something, like put $250 on it right now. That's how I would do on this pullback. And I'd watch it. I'd be watching Bitcoin because I expect it to go down to the 70s. I expect it at least, if not way further than that. I haven't even pulled up a chart on it. I haven't even had time. But if it breaks a certain zone, it's over. It's like totally over. It's a super bear market. And how it dropped out today, how it just did the past 24 hours or so, dropped off like insanely sick. Like it's probably got it in it again. So yeah, FUD equals fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Thank you, Spiro. And that's just how it works. But hey, get it while the getting is good, man. There's how do you think the rich get rich? They anticipate these types of windows, and they buy in gradually. They do what I just told you. They'll average in. That way, they're not running the price right back up because they know people are still in sell-off mode. Sell-off modes happen for a little while. Again, this could get drug out. The last bear markets lasted a while, man. If this thing, when I did look earlier, Bitcoin could catch potentially right around this range and keep climbing. It potentially could, but it's not looking good. I haven't charted it. Haven't had time. I really haven't been into it, any of that crap, because I'm sick of the lies. Like if they're going to come out and they're going to say something, stick to it. Like, and I'm sick of the deception. And when I seen how Eric Trump and all them ended up being with this whole thing, and they're out here saying all this stuff, American projects are tax free and all this crap. But then I look back at it all, and it was just like, man, it just ripped everybody off. And he just dumped. And that's supposed to be illegal. You're not supposed to be out there like trying to say all this stuff to like pump things and do this and then dump on the people if you're invested in it. But crypto is a whole different animal than the stock market. So they're getting away with it. All right. So they call it a flash crash. I think it's more than that. I'll keep updating you. Of course, if you're invested in a stock that got hit here, I'm sure you're feeling it. Looking into your 401k. It's also how they do it. Just take little chunks out. They keep taking little chunks. And they're always making a gain, but you're really not, because they're knocking it price back every time they do this. So again, I'll finish with Bitcoin 82. If it drops below that into the 70s, I'll reevaluate. China, let's look there. They see the Chinese economy is collapsing. Why do I care? Because it's tied in to our economy pretty heavily, and it's an indicator on what's going to happen here globally. The global economy is a real thing. And, like it or not, like we're tied into it, and we are dependent on that flowing smoothly. And a war between China and the United States disrupts that big time. And people on both sides suffer. We've already seen it. Already with the tariff stuff, just already. A real war, drawn out war, would be bad for both sides. All sides here. Not just a war. I told you An economic collapse or a reset is about to happen. Now, one, Trump said he was sent to do this, right? And two, I just showed you with the Economist magazine on the cover, Rothschild Control Economist magazine. In the very center, there's an X over a graph, which represents the economy, and it's going down. Lincoln's head flipped up, a gavel coming down underneath of it, and a tattered dollar underneath of it. Well, that says enough right there. It's judgment on the dollar, on the economy, and we already knew it. To have that happen after me warning you this whole time is this crazy. I've been telling you about this for months, and now this comes along and they're like, oh, look ahead, and that's their warning. Get out of here. Like, but hey. So I've been warning you long before they did. And this is going to be a global thing. Dominoes are going to drop. China's economy is going to fold, and it's not good. Because it's going to affect Japan. It's going to affect Germany, France, America. We're all going to come down. It's all going to come down. Skip over a couple of these. Because I've got a lot here. And obviously going past the top of the hour here a little bit. Go over here and check my email real quick. All right, back to the chat. And a thank you to anyone out there that shares the stream. Appreciate it to the fullest. Elon, warning. AI and robotics are going to make work optional within the next 10, 20 years. He also goes on to say that like money is going to be obsolete. It's going to be gone. They know where this whole thing's going. So money's going to be gone. A majority of humans, like they're going to get them decal numbers somewhere in here. We're going to be replaced by his Tesla bots. If you stop and you think about it, it sounds sinister, but it's the truth. All these corporations are replacing humans with robots, and they're going to be, a lot of them are going to be Elon's. Elon is making a fortune off of the replacement of mankind. Do you get that? This man is making a fortune off of the replacement of us. How can you dare like him? He wants to stick a chip in your brain.
His Royal Highness, his vision, how to augment our workforce with roughly tens of millions of robotics to be able to infuse the next wave of productivity and progress. But this scares a lot of folks here when it comes to the future of jobs. So let's hear about your thoughts, Elon and Jensen, on that.
Sure. Well, say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional?
Optional. So...
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables.
Get the hands on
what work is like, optional. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. Mm-hmm. I'd always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money is doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints, but I think at some point currency becomes irrelevant.
Jensen, any thoughts?
By the way, the NVIDIA earnings call is later today.
And by the way, since currency is relevant.
Cheers.
Elon just wants to share with you some breaking news. The two of us would like to share some breaking news. Listen, I would say there's different horizons you could look at. Everybody's jobs will be different. I think that's for sure. How the students learn will be different. How people do their work will be different, obviously, because a lot of the things that we do mundanely or arduously or very difficultly are going to be done very simply. And so we're going to be more productive from that sense. One of the things that I will say is that for most people or a company, if your life becomes more productive, and if the things that you're doing with great difficulty become simpler, it is very likely, because you have so many ideas, you'll have more time to go pursue things. It is my guess that Elon will be busier as a result of AI. I'm going to be busier as a result of AI. And the reason for that is because we have so many ideas we want to pursue, so many things that we still have in our backlog inside our company that we can go pursue. If we were more productive, we can get to those things faster. And so in the near term, I would say that there's every evidence that we will be more productive and yet still be busier because we have so many ideas. One thing that I will say, give you some evidence, is that, and I was just telling Elon about this earlier, radiology, for example, has largely been converted to AI-driven radiology, and there's some really great companies doing that. And the surprising thing is the prediction that all radiologists would be the first jobs to go was exactly the opposite. The trend shows that there are more radiologists being hired now as a result of AI. And the reason...
Okay, well, that's the scariest part right there. You see South Africa's getting torn apart. Look, it's all getting torn apart. Look, like, I see the fallen looking at us obviously with envy, but at a point where they will reduce us to nothing because we're not needed. You understand that if you go back and you look at the deepest stories, even of the Anunnaki, they came here and created man as a slave, as a mechanism to serve them. What do? We all know we're slaves. Everybody gets up and goes in slaves. They have to pay their dues, all the stuff in the slave world. You all know it. But when you're not needed, no more, then what it becomes is, you think you're Stacy. That's right. It becomes like Elon said. It almost becomes like their fantasy. It becomes, okay, now the human that is here, they basically say God didn't do good enough, or God could have did better. That we're going to expand on the human, and we're going to put a chip in it. Neuralink. That's the whole idea with Elon. So, fast forward 10 years from now, the human population has been greatly thinned. I mean, they're literally going to look at humans. They already do. They already have before. It's like useless eaters, right? And there's way too many of them. But they never had a replacement until now. They can replace us and still have this whole place function for the most part. Large scale, give it 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we're like gone. These days and times, man, have been like a fairy tale. Back when humans lived in large numbers on this earth. This has been the height of it. And they get ready to call it. So what do you think that's going to be? How do you kill millions of people quickly, smoothly, in a controlled fashion? I know that they seem to have a lot of faith in lockdowns, and they ran a huge beta test. I know that freaking front cover of Rothschilds had 2 big needles on it as well. No, I ain't liking that. I ain't liking that at all. Because I can deal with the economic collapse. I can deal with all this other chaos that's going to go down, right? But the event that I was shown, pandemic, a real pandemic, like literal visions God gave me, that scared the crap out of me so bad that it hit every day. I've worked to prepare for this event, stay grinding, getting ready for it. Well, everyone else went back to regular life. I didn't forget. Like, to me, it's held like yesterday, me standing at my window looking out and seeing people going door to door, seeing if everyone had got their jabs, had their essential papers. Everyone's so short-minded, just short-sighted. They don't forget about these things. Just happened. We had to put it in the rear view and forget about it. We forget about how tyrannical this government is. Same government that's in bed with these creatures that are here. Man, we're like screwed. Like, the only thing that you have to have faith in the Most High. It's the only thing that can counter this. Who can wage war with the beast? Gaddafi and all his money and all of his armies and soldiers, Saddam, and none of these other guys could do it. What are you going to do? Who's coming along? Everyone else is sold us out and joined the club. Nobody care about the average man. The goyim, as they call it. They're just down for the slaughter. It's a sick game. Now, when it becomes like a real Hunger Game for humans on this planet, what do? Like, man, these things are here. Okay? A higher intelligence is here. These creatures are here. This technology is getting rolled out. And, like, our replacement is here. I don't know what is crazier, man. Cash, man. Thank you for the coffees, man. First one's on the night. I appreciate that. More than you know. Good to know you're out there lurking. Diligence. Hey. It's much love. From the heart. Straight up. This is the big theme from here on. And it's interwoven. It's all about this. Of course, no one else is going to talk about it like we do. They're not going to incorporate the aspect of the jinn with the AI and the spirit realm and these fallen all in one. But that's what it is. And it's what they worship. From what I can see, the fallen are here. They clearly know they're here, but they've sold us out in the sense that, like, we're lied to. They make contact and keep it from us. They strike deals. They get technologies. They get all these things. They're in bed with the fallen while we're kept in the dark and just used. The humans, our government, they sold us out at this point because they felt powerless. They felt like they could do nothing, that these things would kill them in an instant. And they obviously displayed, they're holding us hostage is what they're doing. They've obviously displayed, even to our own military, that, like, we can do anything. Like, somebody has shut down our nukes and fired them back up. And, like, if it's not them, it's somebody else. Who could that be? Again, I say, could it be the good guys? There has to be, by default, good guys floating around here somewhere. There has to be. There has to be. You know that little white spot inside the dark of the yin yang? It's by default, scientifically. There's a mirror to every atom. That's why I tell you, there's definitely a Jesus. There's definitely a Messiah. Because, okay, you see how evil everything is, and you know that there's a hierarchy of everything. There has to be a good to that. There has to be an opposite to that. There has to be. Even if you're not religious, man, or spiritual, it's just a scientific fact. So when you know that, even if they lied about his name, like, the Messiah exists. Just never forget that. By default, he exists. The good side exists, the pinnacle of it. Just never forget that. If you lose hope, by default, it's there. Okay? Thank you, William, for the 777 on PayPal. I appreciate it to the fullest. And I'm going to keep it pushing. Construction sites inside of Carolina going silent because no workers on the sites. Why? Because they were all illegal? Well, that was a problem. So construction site after construction site after construction site has no one working on it, all over the place. Guess what, guys? Anyone down in Charlotte looking for a job? Because I'm sure there probably are. Job openings. Yeah, there should have been decent paying money jobs anyway for Americans, but no, they filled it with cheaper illegal immigrants. And look, illegal is illegal in my book. I don't care. I can't just go to Canada or anywhere else. I'll get my ass kicked out. Sitting back here. And that should be the same for anyone else. And the hell with anyone coming in here and stealing our jobs. Okay, so this opens up a door for people to have jobs. And they're going to have to negotiate the pay. Of course, they're not going to be able to pay Americans the peanuts they are paying illegal migrants. Okay, they're going to have to up it some. And it's just the way that it is. Got that right, Kimmy. Thank you for the coffee and the love. Just saying. They got in and out of Charlotte pretty quick. They went in there, did their job, and have announced they're leaving already. I'll be interested to see what city's next, because this kicked up big protests and everything else that I was looking at. The moment that I was looking at, I was like, man, I'm about to ride down there and cover this. It was like, they're leaving. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, wonder what the next city's going to be. Guess we'll just have to wait and see here. I'm sure it'll be another one here anytime. And we've got this Jetsons Act being passed in Pennsylvania. They sound kind of crazy. But look where we're at tonight. Look at everything we've talked about. Now this whole stream's gone this far. It's called the Jetsons Act. How many times have you heard me say that word in just the past month or so in the streams? It's come up. It aims to greenlight flying cars. That's right. The goal is to give flying car companies enough runway to clarify to law enforcement, to regulators, and to manufacturers ahead of the 2030s when flying cars and humanoid robots will become a common sight. I'm telling you, man, life's changing so quick. And they're talking, well, I can't play the Rogan part, but this one looks generic. And it's more like a flying drone shaped like a car. It's how it's hovering and flying around. It's not like new technology or even winged or takes off like a plane and lands like it's a... That's generic as all get. And I wouldn't touch it. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen right there, you ask me. Look, drones are drones, man. But like, you need to protect. I don't know. You seen how it was just kind of like wobbling all around, all that? Like, nah. Like, they didn't even have good control of it, man. Like that, no. No way. Now, I will say that you can't see the blades, which means they're protected, which is good. There's no way you're getting in a vehicle or even want to be up inside of anything, sitting in the middle of a drone. Just think about it. There's no way. Them blades will chop you in two. The blades will kill you instantly. And see, the moment that a bird hits one of them, or like you hit a tree limb or anything else, you're coming down. That's how a drone works. As soon as one blade goes out, all the orientation is gone, and it's like a rock. It's coming straight down. You remember that. They start pushing these generic ass flying cars that are basically drones with a car frame. The demonstration couldn't even go like 20, 30 feet. Like, I don't trust the damn thing. It looks generic and like a death trap to me. Like, I know drones, man. I've been chopped to the bone in my arm by my drone. And I just know how they are. Like, there's just no way. I've hit with no protection on the blades. I've hit simple tree limb, and with one of the four blades, propellers, and it's coming down out of the sky. That's how it crashed at the cemetery and met its death. But, yeah, man, I'll pass on that. I'd rather hop into a flying suit, to be honest with you, and try one of them out over the water or something before I jump in one of these things. Just saying. And thank you, Luis, for the coffees. Appreciate it to the fullest. But things are changing, guys. The age of the Jetsons. The freaking bill is called that. And they're probably going to pass it. And I would see more places pushing the same. All right. On to some other. We've got a man accused of lighting a woman on fire. The judge now orders him arrested. He's been arrested 72 times. Like, this is crazy. Someone can be arrested that many times, man. But they keep letting criminals loose. And they've apparently arrested an assistant principal from Virginia and his brother, saying that they were plotting to shoot police and ICE agents.
Two brothers have been arrested, charged with threatening to shoot police and ICE agents, and one of them is an assistant principal at Kempsville High School. Yesterday, Beach police arrested 54-year-old John Bennett. School officials say he's currently on leave from his position there. The other suspect is 59-year-old Mark Bennett. Court documents reveal several disturbing details about this investigation. So let's send it over to 10 on Your Side's Ethan Krause, who joins us live outside of that school. Ethan.
Yeah, Aisha, good afternoon. And you said it, the court documents do reveal details leading to the arrest of Kempsville High School Assistant Principal John Bennett. Now, according to the Virginia Beach Police Department, John Bennett and his brother Mark were both arrested on November 16th after police received information that the brothers threatened to commit acts of violence against local police and ICE agents. Court documents reveal that the brothers were overheard talking at a restaurant where Mark Bennett mentioned how he had an assault rifle with the ability to utilize explosive rounds that could penetrate protective vests. He also mentioned flying to Las Vegas to meet with like-minded people and how he would return with, quote, enforcement ideas and plans. The documents went on to state that John Bennett added statements of support and enthusiasm for the suggested violence and also expressed interest in joining his brother on the trip to Vegas. Now,
some idiots gonna sit there and be talking about plans to do something like that in an open restaurant where someone in the next booth is listening to everything. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine being the people? I could just see their eyes lighting up and being like, oh my gosh, you hearing what this guy's saying? As nosy as people are anyway. Yeah, I mean, that was about as dumb as you could be, but good thing. I mean, it seems like they were just gonna really pull off some kind of terror plot here. Look, the way I see it right now with the ICE agents and the strike teams, and I've warned you through and through, they're eventually going to be used on everybody during lockdowns for the next real pandemic. So you just watch. But someone has to round up these criminals and these killers and these junkies. It has to happen. Okay, so that's fine. Like that's if they're going to do that, but citizens, people that were born here, everyday people, like, they don't need messed with in the process. And I warned you about this at the gate. You were going to see that. That was going to be part of the problem. And it is. It's all people keep complaining about. So, you know, man, it's dicey, man. And this is set up. They sent these people in here so they could send strike teams in to get them. You see, without sending these people in, you never had a good enough excuse on why you were going to deploy strike teams to the streets of America. Do you see that now? It was all set up. This whole thing's been a setup. You had to have the Biden regime installed to get what they wanted here with the Trump administration. You see what I'm saying? It was done for a reason. You know, they had to bring in them as the Trojan horse just for the excuse to have these guys in place. And this is the scary part. While you've got them in place, acting like they're running around arresting these people, that's when the big event happens. And then these guys are already well trained and already been in most of these cities to deal with people, rounding people up. They're already on the ground. They've already encountered people. They've already been in many different cities and dealt with protests and all this, like a warm-up for them. I'm telling you right now, there's no way that this global elite locked us all down and that the Chinese, the Russians, the Israelis, the Americans, that everyone you can think of all participated in it. And that they're not going to do the real deal. There's no way. There's no way in my book. It's like, I know it's coming. God has shown me. It's the scariest thing. Honestly, it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. That's why I live and do everything I've done to this point to prepare for it. But what good is it going to do? Really? I mean, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. The system breaks down. Like, you can live off the land and this and that, but like, eventually, one day, drones are going to come looking, scouring, and you're going to have problems. And all these things you've sat back and watched happen to all these other people in other countries never cared about, it's going to happen to you. Trump's bringing it in right now. It's the scariest part. Drones crisscrossing this place. You can't even be. Wouldn't you be to go outside at that point? You wonder why they went underground in ancient times? Because you can't survive above ground. They'll see you with satellite, they'll see you with drone, and they'll kill you. You literally have to go underground. And that is where I'm told it's already been built for you. It's there. You just have to find it. And dear Lord God, drop us the jewels, the gems, the seeds to find it. There's many. There's different places. There's different places out there across the globe, ancient especially ancient. There's more modern places too that could be utilized. I know under Cincinnati there's an old substation, train station thing that's built that most people don't even know about, and it's crazy. It's all underground. If the youth really knew about it right now, like we did when we were kids, it would be like a complete underground, like haven, like out of a movie. Like, it's so big and so vast and so massive, like you can't believe it, and it's like not even occupied, like it doesn't even exist. There's different cities that have things like this, and there's ancient systems that have already been discovered. In Los Angeles, they discovered some ancient system it's known about, and in other places. So, look, because I tell God, like, look, we are poor. We don't have anything. Like, how are we supposed to, like, get equipment and dig into where? Like, what? Like, literally go underground and make all this happen. Like, it take millions and, like, all that stuff. But, like, instantly something was like, well, all this has already been done for you, man. You just have to find it. Good luck to you. I don't know if I'll get there. I don't know if I'll make it. I'll try, but one of you just might. You might make it there one day. When everyone's dead and gone, you may be like one of the last people left alive. I can like feel it. You remember all these days, and you're actually going to be that one. Lucky you. You got to ride to the madness. Yeah, that's what it's. The whole hope here was that if it's the end, then let it be the end. I want to ride this thing out. My life, I want to live through the end. Right? That's the whole point. I mean, why come this close and not have a ticket for the big show? I thought that's what this was. Right? So, I mean, the disclosure thing just kicked into a whole different gear tonight. So we're getting somewhere. You know, they sacrificed the heifer. They're ready to build a temple. Like we're in a special place. Okay, in time. There's no turning back. 11/11. Much love. We're going to 1 a.m. tonight. Oh man, look, we just letting it flow, man. 11/11. I'm just letting it flow right now, man. I still got stories lined up, and I'm doing what I do. So, okay, so on to the next one. Knocking them down here. We got a Florida Democrat rep indicted on a $5 million FEMA money laundering scheme, facing 53 years in prison. $5 million scheme. You're just seeing these schemes all the time. And I got to point this one out. When I was doing the whole Economist cover, I pointed out that on it, there was dogs, robot dogs, all over. You could see them. There was tanks all over the place, bombs all over the place, robots all over the place, and robot dogs all over the place. Well, police increase the use of robot dogs for law enforcement. And they're rolling out everywhere. All kinds of, not only is it SWAT and FBI and stuff like that, ICE, but like local stations are getting them. And they're saying that these things will be utilized more so. Like back in Obama's day, they had a plan. The Obama regime came out and they sent APCs to like all these police stations. They did all this stuff. They armored them up. Like they were getting them ready for like war. And like some of these police stations said, no, like we don't need these, literally, and gave them back. Like we don't need your war machines, we just need civility to go out here and do this. But with this, they're saying that a bunch of the police stations are like, you know what, we'll take that, we'll utilize that, and they are. So you're gonna see these things everywhere. You're gonna see it on campus. You're gonna see it in a mall. Seriously, and it's gonna be going around doing some things. Let me tell you, okay? It's gonna be doing some mind-blowing stuff. Not only just scanning you, but getting all your biometrics and recording it. It's going to be scraping. It's going to be like a stingray, scraping all technology that it passes by. Every bit of absolutely everything. This thing will be scraping. All your messages, all your data, all of everything. They'll have it right there. Boom. It's going to see you through walls. It's going to be able to chase you down. It's going to be able to speak to you and give you commands. It's going to say that you're under arrest and stop. It will literally chase you until a human can get there. And there's usually an officer or a human somewhere close by, just like with any cop dog. But these things literally can be trained, like go by themselves, roaming throughout the ball. Or wherever it is. They can have a boundary set programmed in them, and they've got like a geofence set in, and they'll stick to it, and they're ran by AI. They're given parameters, things to look for. They pick up on those things, especially for wanted people. I mean, it's the AI, lightning quick. If it's scanning the entire crowd, so if somebody's got a warrant in there, or something like that, it's going to flag it like instantly. They're going to know. And this starts to get crazy. This is where people have got to pay attention, like big time. And like, I'm telling you, like, this is like, for instance, say you've got a kid, teenager out there, 20s, something like that, and he's been caught going into the mall here recently, stealing a couple things, some hats, shoes, shirts, whatever, out of the mall. Different stores. Okay, well, all of a sudden he's in a database. It could be 6 months later. He's got a grown out beard, got a ball cap on. He comes in, but he rolls past this thing. This thing picks him up on biometrics, and they're on him. They got him. They could do this off of any camera, but this gets it down at ground level, like face to face, can look right up at you, and it's gonna have them. This is game changing. So, really, thieves, especially once you're busted and they got you in the system, the odds are going to be stacked against you. Like, you're not even really going to get in to anywhere without these systems picking you up once you're in it, because they're going to scan everyone at this point as they're coming through the door. And you're going to have to go above and beyond to fake some stuff. And I could see some cats doing that, wearing some fake masks and all that, and doing everything they can to get around this, because somebody always finds a way to do something. But these dogs are not going away. Couple the dogs with drones. what was on that cover as well? Drones on tethers. Why tethers? Because the tethers, they can keep the drones up just like aerostats. They can keep them up like 24/7. They can just keep it up there 24/7. Only reason he ever had to bring it down anyway was because he had to change battery. Only lasted 15, 20 minutes, in a drone. So that's why you see them with tethers. They work in unison, all together. This is crazy, man. Like, criminals are gonna have a role. It's not just criminals. Like, this, the plus side is, it's going to do away with the criminality. But here's the downside: it's like everyone's going to be a criminal at this point because there's going to be no jobs, there's going to be no income, there's going to be no nothing, and you're going to be forced to either go out and do something, which they're going to deem illegal, to make money, or take the universal basic income off your government and sit down and shut up. That's going to be their answer. I mean, Elon's done said it in so many freaking ways. I showed you again tonight. I mean, 2030, a quick 5 years, man. And this is like game over. Like, you need to get off grid or have a backup. Okay. The ideal thing right now would be to have your spot wherever you're at, but have a little something somewhere else. Okay. Tucked away. Okay. That's the key. Tucked away. Nothing else, nothing luxurious. I don't care if it's out in the middle of national forest or something, like out in the middle of nowhere where no one else is going to be. But that's the whole point. If you can get a little piece of property in a spot like that, tucked away, that's what counts. Because then you've got all the resources around you, of nature, and you're secluded. You're away from the madness, and things are going to change, man. When society breaks down, there's no other way around it. You're not going to go off and live. Life's not going to be easy, man. I don't know what anyone's thinking. People live in an illusion all the time. Like, I don't know. I don't know what people are going to do as this thing breaks down. I try to give people ideas, give them ways. I really think that getting have your main spot, have your main house, obviously wherever it's at. People working, where people live. Some people can't do anything about that. But what you can do is save up a little bit of money and find a piece of property. And again, you don't need 10, 20, 30, 40 acres. That's not what you're looking for. Go out and get you a little quarter acre that you can afford. Maybe it's got a well on it or something already, or something like that. Again, the key is that it's tucked away nowhere. You're in like no man's land. That's the whole point of it. And get you a little cabin, and it's going to be about survival. Then you don't want nothing big that you're going to have to heat. Man, I tell you what, tonight it's driving home a whole new idea of the underground. I need to go find it. As I told you, I need to go find the ancient underground, because that's it. Maybe that's what it's always meant to do. Problem is, I best not go busting into some lair like Phil Snyder did and roll up on some grays or something. Because these dudes are equipped with some badass weapons. He got split by one. He got blasted. Like, man, look, these things are here, and I can't get over it. I feel like the hunt is on. I feel like it ain't fair. They come pick me off, kill me right now. Like, what are you worried about the feds or what are you worried about anyone else for? Huh? If you are out in the middle of nowhere trying to survive, these things could come and pick you off, and they come up right now, try and pick me off. Like, what am I going to do? The fallen are here. But see, I have power over them through the Holy Spirit. I tell them to bow down, to back up. and respect. And see, this is a game of fire versus fire. Like, I was shown a long time ago that I was shown, like, I don't know, look like a demon. Call it the devil, call it Lucifer, call it him, Satan, whatever. I was shown this super powerful entity in a very dark place. It reminded me of Doom, the video game Doom. And we were in like a layer underground where things echoed. You know, it was like hell. It was like that. But this thing sat there, and God asked me. He didn't say nothing at first. Like, it took me there. Like, the spirit took me there and showed me this. And I seen this entity. It looked like a dinosaur, like a huge dragon, like lizard. And I couldn't see it all. I could just see, like, the upper part of it was, like, lit up. It was like we were in a chamber. Like, it was weird. And it was really dark. But it had a tail. I know. Because it, like, dropped it. And when it did, it reverberated throughout the whole thing. And it let me know how vast of a chamber, like, I was in. It was like, it was surreal. And, like, I kept telling the spirit that I'm not worshiping this thing. And, like, at first, it was like, okay, kind of. And, like, it's like, do you respect God's creation? And I'm like stunned. Like, this is a trick question. Like, but I could tell it was trying to get me to see something higher and wake me up out of a dumbed down state. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, God made this for a reason. Do you not respect it? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I respect it. I see what you're saying. I see it, but I don't worship it. And then, like, I had to say it. That was how this whole thing went. I was adamant that I'm not worshiping this thing. And, like, the spirit, I kind of looked, it was like, I felt like I was got a scolded look. Like, come on, man. Like, but I wanted to make clear I wasn't worshiping this thing, but the spirit was trying to make clear to me that this is God's creation. He put it here for a reason, to test man. You respect that? I mean, I respect it. You know, at this point, I'm like, I respect it. I said, you know, I wasn't there about to say, because my thought was, again, that I ain't worshiping it, but I wasn't about to say it again. I like stopped, and I'm like, I get it. I see what you're trying to get me to see. That the Most High made this for a reason. As bad as it is, as evil as it is, he made it for a reason. I see. Okay. I respect that. He made it for a reason. But again, I wasn't about to say, but I'm not going to worship it again, because I already made my point. It, like, knew that. It already knew that. It wanted me to know, though, that this is for a reason. Okay? It's testing man. And then it takes me to the whole thing with the flood in our creation. What happened to the Nephilim? They became the jinn. The jinn were put here to test us. It's written. And again, they were so bad, Moses had to ask God to do something. So he sent angels down, and they got rid of 9/10 of the jinn. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine it just stayed that bad? 9/10, and they only left 1/10. So what we are dealing with is only a 10th of how bad it could have been, because he put it on Moses and them. Soon as the flood went down, the flood waters receded. There were people everywhere, and they were his seeds were going out in the world, and there were people and all the stuff going on. There were interactions, and it was bad. Like, people were like infidelity and cheating and lying. It was bad. The temptation was worse than they could handle. They couldn't handle it. So that's why Moses called to God and said, God, please do something. He did. You need to know that. Don't you think that that's important? Don't you think I think it's a super important part of the story. All this. That all this happened. That all these things were here. That they wiped this place out. But yet, they were still here. They were still here. Some giants, the Book of Giants explains all this. It's amazing. The books that they left out are amazing. The Book of Jubilees, Giants, Enoch, they explain all of it. The Book of Giants says where God took his angels, Raphael, Michael, the good guys, he made them take certain giants, good giants, to designated places on the planet out in high locations, and they survived the floods. They survived it. They were there even after the waters receded. It is written. Okay? They made it. There were good guys. Again, there can be good in all. God only did that for the ones in them that were good, that were true. And it's not often talked about. The Book of Giants is because it's kept secret. They took it out like everything else. But it's right there. I told you, Genesis, B, Jubilees, Book of Enoch, Book of Giants, man, you need to tear into this. This is what you're missing. It gives you all it fills in all the pieces, where the soul goes when you die. Isn't that important? I think it's more important than anything, right? Where are we all going till you wait till judgment? Well, they told you. They carved a place out in rock, 3 different places, and it's all there. The way this whole place functions is right there. If anybody cares, man. It's supposed to be a way. Not enough people care or even give a crap. Yet it's written right there. That's some mind-busting stuff, man. But it's real deal, man. Again, there's nothing more important than this stuff. Like, none of these headlines. Like, I always circle back to all this madness because there's nothing more important than realizing the game we're in. Look, you have a power to manifest. You have a power to create. Your thoughts, this is a mental place. Your thoughts are real. You don't need to sit there and think bad thoughts. You think, really, you need to practice thinking on good things and speaking those things into existence, writing them down, getting a vision board, drawing it out, going after it, setting goals, doing these things, knocking things out, overcoming things in your life, mastering this life. That is what this is all about. Sharpening your stone. You see, all the secrets that are hidden, even masonically and hidden in the occult, it's what they would call the philosopher's stone. Okay? And not all of this is evil. It's only attributed to evil because it's bad people basically using it. They're using, imagine a science or a magic that is just being kept from people that all you can use, all of us could use, but it's only being used by the few, suppressed, from the masses and being used against them for that reason. So it's not really magic, because if you all knew it, just like anti-gravitics isn't magic. There's a science to it. Make something float. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's science to all this. In the end, even controlling people's polarity and all this. This is key, along with frequency and everything else. Where am I at here? 11:30. Oh. Sometimes I'm like, should I even look back at the headlines, or should I just stay on point with this, with what's wanting to come out of me here? Because I feel like what's trying to come out of me is more important. These things are here officially, and it changes things. I don't know why I keep thinking of the Ghostbusters. But I just keep thinking of a team, like an A team that gets together, that's formed from this moment on. And we go out and we find the truth, because it's all that's left to do. Thank you, Steely. I appreciate that. all that's left to do, man, is go out and find these places. And I can't help but think that I know a ton, are underwater. This is what intrigues me about Florida so much, is because, and then all the way up to the coast into the Carolinas, I have found ancient stuff, all very ancient and old stuff. And again, if I had the time and the ability to go there, I could show it. Some of these things and places I've been to, and I'm sitting on some stuff, but some places I need to finish what I set out to do, and other places I've yet to get to. The best places I've even yet to get to. But there's stuff that is underwater on our coastline that people just don't even realize, they take for granted. It's even up to the Carolinas. It's like someone designed this earth in a strategic way. You can see it intelligently in rows and in patterns. But now it's all underwater. And it's right there. You could see it. And when you zoom in, like nobody lives there, like close to there, like marshlands. But it's all symmetric. And it's like, hold on. Who did this? How old is this? And like, it's crazy. Because when you form a bow from the Carolinas in that same spot right down east, you end up right in the Bahamas, Bimini, all that. All that is interesting, and I believe that holds the keys to our history. I mean, here's another one for you. Lake, I think it's Erie. It might be another one. It might be Michigan. It might be one of the Great Lakes, and it might be many like this. There are artifacts on the seafloor that have been discovered. And there's one place, and there's documentaries done on this, where they discovered a rock and it has an elephant carved on it. It like the bottom of like the Great Lake that like is there, meaning that it would have to have been done before the place had water in it. And the crazy stuff like that, man. There's so many, all the mounds that are out there. We already know giants have been discovered, many. And 7-footers, 8-footers. It's telling you there's bigger than that out there. Man, look, really, the wheels should start spinning, and like everything should run wild at this point. I'm telling you, all the talk of fairies and hobbits and all this crazy stuff, I don't care. I don't care how crazy it ever sounded to you. I don't care how crazy it sounded, and people want to laugh at and call it conspiracy. I'm telling you, there's realness to all of it. And I don't know. I think we're entering a realm that's going to be very sinister, but on the other side, some things are going to come out. I can't get over what's about to happen. Like Trump's coming to come out and give this announcement, and like it's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing ahead. And speaking of Trump, he signed off on this Epstein thing. Let me get an update on this thrown out there real quick. You seen Bitcoin tank earlier, and I think I said it on the last stream with all these emails coming out. They exposed that Satoshi was at his place hanging out because he said it in the email. He's like, I got Satoshi here. It was in all these other people. So they're saying that, he's a financier of Bitcoin, and that was one of the things that brought it down. In all that, like, it's garbage, man. Like, they're all connected together. One big mafia, but they are throwing some guys under the bus. Looks like Larry Summers is gonna get it next. I ain't got time to play this clown Jasmine Crockett, and really look, I gotta mention this stuff. Trump and Mom Donnie, this is ridiculous. You've been had. You've been bamboozled. He's got you, MAGA. He's got everybody. Like, this dude don't care. Like, people are like, oh, Trump's going to stop it. Even though he keeps saying he's going to try to stop it, garbage. He just did this whole interview wishing this guy well. Look, when I saw the guys in the black hats come in, shaking Mom Donnie's hand, saying, yeah, we support you. We found out your mom was a Jew. So blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what? All this is on camera. I'm like, oh, wow, dude, like we're done. Like, dude, it's over. Same people, same clown, same black hat crew that gave Trump the silver crown, call him the Gentile Messiah. Same ones that were surrounding J.D. Vance in that one video. Whole room of them. Only one didn't have black hat on was J.D. Vance. Yeah, so the influence and control, yeah, right there. So they bring this guy in as a tool. I'm telling you, it's all as a tool. And Trump don't care. Trump don't care that if Muslims are coming in and taking any of this over. He ain't said nothing about that. He really don't care. He just had freaking the leader of Saudi Arabia, the head chopping capital of the world, in the White House, striking up deals, shaking his hands, calling them our number one non-NATO ally, selling them a bunch of weapons. He does not care. MAGA, they about to get screwed harder than anyone. They better hope and pray they wake up before that ship, like, before there's no more life rafts. Because this is fraud. This is fraudulent. Everything talked about Mom Donnie, everything that they represent, everything that they're going to do. Let me tell you something. There's something real to large groups of young men that are surrounding people, chanting Allah Akbar, even though they could say it means God is good or whatever. You don't see groups of Christian men surrounding no one like that anywhere in any cities, like conclave, like a takeover. What's a no-go zone? No, you don't. Not one. Not one. They seem to be scared to mount up on the weekend, shoot some guns. Like, I don't get it. Well, I do get it. I told you before, MAGA sucked them up. Black occult magic sucked up all the patriots and got them under a spell. And they're all worried. They're just worried about MAGA falling apart. Everyone thinks it was a cool little clique and gang to be a part of, and they don't want to fall apart. That's all anyone's worried about, and that's garbage. Spit on that. Y'all suck. Is worried about like this is high school. It's real life. And y'all the problem. Going along with the show, protecting pedos. Last I checked. Bitches. Piss me off.
Just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. That anything I do is going to be.
Listen to what he's just going on and on. Who cares? This dude is in there and he's supporting it. All right. So don't act like you're against him and all this other crap, and they come in to show that you're supporting him. You're a flip flopper. You're a piece of like, that's garbage. Like, he doesn't care. He over here on one thing, he's saying all the socialist stuff, it's going to destroy NYC, and then bring him in there and then talk like this, like garbage, man. Like, it's all a show. But think about it. If they really don't like you, what do? They kill you. Okay, is this dude under any threat? No. So this is all theater. It's all theater. Trump's all a part of it, for sure. So he don't care. He don't care. Okay? When it becomes some kind of, when it's taken over, like Dearborn, you think Trump. Yeah. I'm seeing this happen all over the place. I told you Texas just raised up in they declared Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist, and they're not allowed to buy property or anything in Texas or do anything like that. And they're stopping it. They're not going to let them rise up and decapitate all the people there. I guess they finally got hip to it and was like, well, they got mosques going up, Sharia law in 300 different courts. Yeah, you got to, yeah. You want to get pulled over for a ticket and end up in a Sharia court? One too many, getting your fingers chopped off? Like, what? Like, hey, because you all wanted to sit there on your ass and not stand for nothing. They came right on in and they take on over because you wanted to sit there and do nothing and not stand for anything. They're going to come right on in and take over everything. But watch. I salute anyone that rides for the right reasons, right? Like, look, well, I'm all about peace. I'm all about any religion that's here for peace. But anyone that's got a religion that wants to infringe on ours and take over and change our way of life. Ain't having that. Mine's not impeding on you, trying to come in and force mine on you. So the moment you want to force yours on me, we got a problem. Comprende. Bombshell report. Largest funder of Al-Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer. So I saw this breaking right before we went live tonight that Trump did say they're done. He ordered all the protection for the Somalis that are in Minnesota. It's done. It ended, and they're to get out, gone now. Because the bombshell report shows, sure enough, our tax dollars are paying for it. I told you, Al-Shabaab here in freaking Minnesota, just like they are in the mountains of Virginia, training to kill people. If you were doing that, you'd been, door kicked in by the feds? Got Underground's the answer, man. It's crazy I say that because I'm sitting there looking at it on my screen. Like, it's the answer. It's the only way to survive us at this point. It's the only way. I don't know if I'll make it. I don't know why I keep saying that. But I don't know. That's just what's coming out of me. Good luck to all of you. I hope someone finds it. Someone makes it. I can see it. I can see people there. In the future. Past 2030 is a scary place, man. Hell, next year's a scary place. Any terrorism that happens here is brought to you by the man. There's increasing no-go zones all over the place. Like all over. Germany, France, UK, Ireland. I mean, you name it. Here, look right here on the screen. It's a fresh one. Increasingly becoming no-go areas. Violent crime explodes at German train stations. Why? Foreigners that cannot assimilate, just like they're here, and it's exploding. And that was the whole plan the whole time. Cause chaos. And to bring the foreigners in that were not going to assimilate. They did not do it anywhere else, America. They didn't do it in none of these freaking countries. What makes you think they're going to do it here? You'd be ignorant to think so. Ain't done it nowhere else. They did nothing but cause chaos everywhere. That's the definition of insanity. Same thing going on, but expecting a different result. Like, dude, it's here. Your Trump aide just helped set up NYC to become a massive one. And by 2030, I don't even know, man. He don't care at this point. Like, he knows, like, this is it for him. Like, he's finishing the job, and it's a dirty job that they brought him in to do. He's going to reset this whole thing. And, like, he doesn't care about nothing else. He's got all these accolades he's getting for stopping all these wars. And I don't know, do they give the Nobel Peace Prize every year? Because he didn't get it this year, and that Venezuelan lady got it, which was all set up. If they do it every year, then I could see him getting it next year, easy. Because they're just going to go back and they're going to be like, look, they're going to regurgitate. And they're going to look at the 7 wars and here's an 8th and here's a 9th. And by then it's going to grow. It'll be like 10 wars, especially if he solves Ukraine, or if Ukraine gets solved. Let's put it that way, comes to a close. That'd be one of the biggest yet. And then I don't know how you're ever going to stop the Mossad in Israel, Netanyahu, but it seems like they've got a barrier where they're stopping right now around Gaza City. They've already leveled it. I don't know what they're doing. If they've accepted this one little area is where they're going to keep them. Let the Palestinians be, but it's decimated. It would have to be rebuilt, and all the Israeli troops are staying right outside of a buffer zone there, right outside of Gaza City there. But it's all level. I shared a clip earlier. It's modern day freaking genocide. It's insane. It's insane what it looks like. But people don't care. So when it comes to the whole thing, there's a 28-point plan for a peace deal here between Ukraine and Russia. I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know what'll come of it, but 28-point plan, like, come on. It's like it's hard enough to get them to agree on one thing, but 28 things, that's how I'm seeing. We'll see. World's a stage. Putin seems to like the idea. Zelensky in Europe don't. Imagine that. I say we step out of the fray all together, and if they want to swing, they want to duke it out, let them swing and duke it out. That's how I see it. Long as nukes ain't flying down over here, we tried for peace. They didn't want it. They wanted war. If you want to choose some off, you want some, go get you some, bad boys. Little satanic Zelensky. We're doing a satanic dance, half naked in his leather suit, in his high heels. Guy probably wears heels higher than a chick, and he's right next to. Like, seriously, if you ain't seen the videos of satanic Zelensky, you need to really go see. He's really, it's creepy and it's crazy. But they're all on that team. This is what they're expecting Ukraine to look like in the end. If they strike this up legally, the United States is just giving them Crimea legally. They're saying they accept U.S. and other countries, but not Ukraine, are going to recognize Crimea and Donbass are lawfully Russia's. So this huge chunk up here, the Donbass, which has Luhansk and Donetsk, and then you have Zaporizhia, which is where the nuclear site is, and then you have Kherson. Okay? Dude, Russia's advancing. They're in all these forward territories. And Russia's basically saying right now, Vladimir Putin's ultimatum, he's saying that you either accept the deal or we're going to push forward and we're taking over whatever we want. Like, I'm telling you now, if they don't accept this, they're going to get freaking nuked. Like, Kiev is going to get wiped off the freaking map. Dude, they don't have a chance. Like, I don't understand why Europe is pushing this hard, but all I've seen this time is innocent men get killed every day from both sides. I'm quite sick of it. Blown away by drones at point blank range, most of them, on a daily basis. But I'd love to see this thing come to an end. I've been covering it since the Obama administration, when they went in and they overthrew the elected government with Maidan. Covered every bit of it, every second of it. We covered crazy stuff where we caught them, a hidden group, firing on both the police and the protesters, and we exposed it all. And the police and the protesters were getting sniped. They realized this. They were falling back. Both sides they were standing together. They realized it was coming from a tower. There was only one tower in town, and what was crazy is this footage was getting anonymously put out of it, and it was from a tower. Well, guess what? There's only one tower in town, and the shots and the footage were coming from the same freaking spot. And we busted it and zeroed in on it, and we busted them straight up. Third party, like observing, like the feds do, like the Mossad does, filming from a rooftop, from and then sniping them and filming. It was crazy. We busted them. But that's the latest with Ukraine. If they have a peace plan, I will update. And that's just I'll give some final thoughts here tonight, man, because we're out of time. Get 7 minutes to the top. I'll shut it down. Check the chat. Give some final shout outs, like I said. We're at 5.7 earthquake causes major damage. Let me pull up the quake map real quick. See what we're working with. And it looks like don't know what you're talking about. See, you're gonna have to let me know where with that. Japan, Russia, Japan. I don't see any other 5.7 unless it's not on this quake map. Much love, everybody. Nah, midnight's my limit here on the streams. Yeah, and time is flying by. More and more. Bangladesh. All right. And thank you, Steely. Here is the earthquake map. And I don't see a 5.7 anywhere. All right, 5.7, Russia. Way earlier. Unless if it just happened. They're not showing it on here. There's nothing. I'm looking. California. I don't see Bangladesh written anywhere there. Philippines. Nope. Anyhow, if something has popped off, I'll update. Thanks there, Spiro, Steve, all the mods for joining for another one. Crazy one tonight. This one is like I don't know. I feel like tonight serves as like a milestone type of spot, like a benchmark. Like this is a special night in many ways. This is the night I'll always refer back to as, disclosure night. November 21st, 2025. Where it really unfolded. There's a lot to talk about here. A lot to be done, man. So, again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I try to dump it out there the best I can. I really do. I thank all you guys for joining me for these shows, man. I try to give you everything I got here, and time just flying by. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you guys for all the support tonight. All the super chats. The new members welcome to the underground. Thank you for the PayPals, for the coffees. Bangladesh, okay. I'm going to take us out of here. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. And stay safe. Stay fighting a good fight, man. That's the main thing. Raymond. Martian, DJ, Oliver, Easy, Sharon, Tiffany, EC, Texas. It's been a minute. You go up here and look. I won't. I'm not. I will next stream. I'll line up the music star for the next one. Some other music for the next. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve. For real, man. In the legendary Eon. You wasn't around for the last stream. I give you a shout out anyway, because you're legendary. Like Cash Heart. Thank you all for real. Much love, God bless.